Welcome to the podcast. This is Mr. Ish. We're here at Kips Bay Boys and Girls Club, Codere Clubhouse in the Bronx, season number 5. And today's topic is one that we're not shying from. We got the older girls and we got a couple of staff members. And it's serious enough that I think that it's going to be a good podcast, hopefully. Let's just introduce ourselves from my left to my right. I mean, your name and your age so people know, who's here.
My name is Zayanara and I'm 12.
Thank you. Welcome to the podcast.
My name is Ashley and I'm 12.
Thank you, Ashley.
My name is Brandon. I'm 22.
Ooh, Brandon, 22. Brandon, is this your first time in the podcast?
Yeah,
first time in the podcast. Now he has to listen to it. He sounds like Barry White already. All right, guys, today's topic is nothing to laugh about. We've dealt with about a year and a half ago, with a lot of things that were going on in the world, Black Lives Matter, and a lot of racism that we saw on television, and the raid of the Capitol, and all this stuff that was going on. So, how do you feel about racism, Black Lives Matter? Do you see any changes? Has anything changed for anyone? I think we all here basically could say that we're brown and black and dark-skinned people and stuff like that. So we deal with racism a little different. But let's just go to the table and just talk about what we've seen, if anything has been different, or have you seen something else, some progress? We can start with you. I think it was your topic, so we'll start with you.
No, it hasn't changed because I still see people like getting kicked from the jobs because of their skin color, or getting screamed at because of their skin color.
Do you think that this is a touchy topic? Some people are not getting kicked out of the job, but because they need to be vaccinated and stuff like that, it kind of looks like they're getting rid of a lot of people. But people are making choices. People are making choices for themselves, and it's all right. But if you lose a good city job because you don't want to get vaccinated, then you have to deal with that.
Right.
That's nothing that it has to do with racism or anything like that. And they want everybody to get vaccinated. So don't get that part twisted. It is still happening. People are still getting fired, for those reasons. But be sure that's one of the topics. Ashley, what you got?
So
do you see that
actually,
things have changed? Is there more talk about it? Is it open more? I mean, we dealt with it, really for about a good year and a half during the pandemic. We got to see all of it on TV because we were home and it was a constant topic. But now that we're back in the streets and back in school and back at work, have you seen any different?
No, not at all.
Not at all?
Because there has been a little bit of changes, but after the George Floyd situation, nothing has really changed.
I think the government has to change some of its rules.
Yeah.
And that's one thing. I felt that during the marches, we were getting it was getting in there under their skin, as you could say. It was really getting okay. Now we got this momentum, but then it started dying down again. So it's been hard, and I've seen some changes. I've seen that people are more open to talk about it. Before it was kind of like a hidden thing. I think that the topic comes up. You guys are more aware of it. Yeah. I mean, people are more aware of it throughout, even sports. But I don't think that, much has changed until the rules don't change.
Right.
So Brandon, as a I would say as a young black man, have you seen any changes in racism or in the way it's been carried out in the last year and a half or so?
I wanted to piggyback off of what you said. I agree. I think that the reason it's being taken more serious now is because of social media and everyone being having access to a phone. So we literally seeing George Floyd, we see him die on camera. It was being recorded for about 12 minutes or so. And I think that made it more that made everyone see what we was dealing with behind closed doors.
Oh, what you live. I mean, we live in New York City. We've seen things that I'm pretty sure someone in Arkansas didn't see.
Yeah, basically.
Someone that doesn't have to deal with this on a daily basis. You're a young black guy. You can't walk around, the neighborhood with your hoodie on. Yeah. I mean, it could be a problem. Somewhere else, you have your hoodie on. It's because you're cold.
Like
It's
before,
just
it was
that
like,
simple.
It was like we knew about Trayvon Martin, we knew about Mike Brown, but we didn't like physically see it. We just heard about what happened. But that situation was something that we saw. It kind of reminded me of damn, it happened before I was born, but it was like a guy got beat by cops with I forgot his name.
Are you talking about the one in California?
Yeah, California.
Rodney King. Rodney
King. Yeah, it kind of reminded me of that. And the same effect happened too, because I heard after the situation with Rodney King, there was riots.
Yeah, there was a whole bunch of riots in California. And the funny thing is that even though people see it on television and they see a video, from beginning to end, or let's say a cop camera, or one of the body cams that they have and all that, they have all this footage, and still nothing's done.
That's a fact.
And still nothing's done. This is one of the rare times I think somebody was just convicted for killing one person, but a cop was convicted. But that's rarely happens. And then it's kind of sad because I did a podcast once before, and I used to do it like maybe 2 or 3 years ago. What do you want to be when you grow up? Or even myself, people used to always say fireman, cop, and doctor, lawyer. And I don't really hear too many people saying cop anymore, unless your dad's a cop and you already in that life, and you be like, oh, I'm proud of my dad, and you would say something like that. I don't see too many kids saying I want to be a cop. And unfortunately, we need people of our color there.
Yeah.
If we not in the circle, then we don't have a voice.
I feel like
so that's one of those things.
I feel like because there's like this little hashtag that people go by on Twitter, like it's called ACAB, which is all cops are bad cops, and it's basically like a movement that's kind of like it's putting our people against them. Like it's not like we trying to join the cops or nothing. It's like it's literally minorities versus cops. It's like we don't even look at them as like, oh, they coming to rescue us. We look at them as like they're their own gang. Like they're trying to hurt us.
I'm going to tell you a little secret. I was working on something before. You'll probably be the first ones to hear about it. We had you remember Facelin? I don't know. There was a staff member here named Facelin. She went to go work in the police department. So I was going to get her and 2 other women cops to come do a podcast and not tell you who they were. And just you guys talk to them and figure it out, and they will tell you about their job and other things, and then basically them tell you like, hey, I'm a police officer. Yeah. I'm a detective. I'm a mother. I'm a jogger. I'm a bike rider. I do pottery. I do photography. All those things just to make you see that they're normal people. It's a job. It's a uniform. It's a code. And believe me, those women in the police force are dealing with stuff. Like they're being, it's not that they're being racist, but they don't treat women in the police force the same. It's a man thing. It's really run by men. So I was gonna do a podcast. I still might do it, but I think that's a dope podcast to do. Anybody else thinks that there's any difference or anything that we could make? How do you think we could help to make a difference? How about that? Because we have a voice. We have a voice. We could do a hashtag. We could do a circle. We could do a podcast like this. We could give people information. There's ways to help people. I think that people have to be educated. That's the key. Once you educate them and you give them like, oh, you know what, that is wrong. That's not right. And you give them that, and they start thinking about it. It's better than to think about it than just to go to one side. Go ahead, Ashley.
I feel like some cops, they don't respect like the boundaries that other people have, because for example, like what we have seen, like people, like cops kill people for reaching in their pocket, for example, like their ID or whatever. They basically don't give us our space that we need to like take the information that they need out.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying, that has happened. People are quick to the trigger, as they would say. I also could tell you that it's a really dangerous job. You're going into situations that people don't like you, and they're trying to kill you, and you have a family, and you could get hurt. So you have fractions of a second to think about things. I mean, that's part of their training. I guess training them over and over and retraining people is important. I don't condone anybody, shooting somebody for taking out a cell phone. But if you're in a stop and you stopping someone in the car and you tell them to take their hands off and turn off the car, and they start not listening to the rules, you're gonna be panicky. You're gonna panic a little bit. So things like that could happen. Unfortunately, if you were to just listen, like I've been stopped by cops before. I turn off my car. I put the keys right in the front. How can I help you? I serve them to death. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yeah, okay, sir. All right, thank you, sir. And either I get a ticket or don't get a ticket. Half of the time, I don't get a ticket. It's just whatever they want. You have my wallet's over there. You can flash it over there. Put the flashlight, please. My wife is gonna open it. Everything just be very, very, very slow motion with it, as you would say. Open up the thing, you can see the light. My thing is right there next to my glasses, and pull out the wallet. Do all that stuff, and most of the time they'll be like, okay, your paperwork is good, and you leave. Some people are not like that. Some people, it could affect them by you being jittery. So that's kind of hard.
To push back a little on what you said, I feel like it's definitely different based on like the way you look.
Oh, absolutely.
Because if somebody stops you, they could see off rip like, he's a little brown and he's like a Hispanic looking male.
And I'm older.
I feel
I'm an old fart
of a darker color and they're young. They could cooperate. They could do everything you just said, and that cop is still afraid for his life because of the color of that man's skin.
Yeah, that's definite.
So I feel like what you saying is true. Like, yeah, we could definitely make their job easier by cooperating and doing everything that they telling us. But that doesn't change the fact that that man is still scared of me. So
that's very true.
He's gonna be fidgety. He's gonna be like iffy. He's just scared because I'm a big black guy.
That's true. So I also think that's part of training. These people come from Westchester to come work in the Bronx.
Yeah.
That, I got black friends. No, you don't. You know two people. The one that works in the bagel shop and the one that pumps gas for you. So that's different than absolutely sitting with someone and speaking to them about family, history, and actually, being more relatable to that particular skin color. So when they say, I know people that are black, no, you don't. You probably know two people. There's nobody in your son's class is black. So when you're not relating to that particular person, it gets very hard, and you just stereotype the person right off the bat, and that's into training. I think they got to train these cops differently.
But just off of what you just said just now, that's basically a solution right there.
Yeah.
If you from Westchester, you should be a cop in Westchester. You shouldn't be
True
coming
that.
to the Bronx. It should be people of color that's monitoring our neighborhood.
Well, then people that are 6, 7 years old, they need to finish school. They need to get their 2 years of college so they could be police officers and change things.
Facts.
And vote and do all that stuff. Because we got a black president, a few years ago. You know why? Because we all went out and we voted. Because that was never going to happen, at least in not our lifetime. Okay, sweetie.
I have a question.
What you have?
How did you feel when the police or the cops stopped you?
They stopped me many times. When they searched me, well, there used to be like a searching, they used to just pull you on the wall and search 10 or 15 people. That was like, that was a pain. And that made you feel kind of bad because they'll just, I think that somebody with a white shirt with curly hair did something. And that's just, or somebody that's dark skinned that's 6 feet. You have in the Bronx, in Manhattan, you'll have 34 people in the neighborhood that match that description. So for them to stop everybody because of that, that's kind of a pain. Now, if I'm speeding and I'm in my car and they stop me, I know I'm guilty. I'm just trying to get out of the ticket. So there's a difference. So I'm still going to yes them and serve them to death, but I'm trying not to get points in my license and not get a ticket. I don't care who stopped me. A woman, a man, a dark-skinned man, a Puerto Rican guy. I don't care who stopped me. I just don't want a ticket. So that's a different stop. Like being harassed or even search or something like that, that's a different thing than just being stopped for doing something I know is bad. If I did something I know is bad, I'm just trying to get out of it without getting in trouble. So that's a good question, though. Anything else you guys want to talk about? In this particular topic? It is beautiful. I think it's a great one. Thank you for being open. I know it's a hard topic to talk about, but I think that, we could still learn from each other. And, when you get the chance to vote and get in these clubs and stuff where your voice could be heard, take the role. Take control of your own destiny, as they would say. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Say goodbye.
Bye.
That was a bad bye. Let's try it again. Say goodbye.
Bye.
Peace.
Check. 1 2 1 2. Check.
All right, guys. We're out of here. Fight racism.